Grand Rising, everyone. It's Shay Seeking from American Aborigines Unchained here on YouTube and in the Facebook group. And today we're going to be in the book of Judith. I know I was in wisdom. I'm kind of going back and forth. The Spirit is leading me there. So, again, we're going to go ahead and start with this because I think this is pertaining to something that, we talked about yesterday. When we were in Genesis, it kind of just came up during that conversation. I feel like I've said the things that may be pertaining to this here, these verses. And again, for me, I'm never trying to be anything but myself. I'm just someone, I don't belong to any churches or anything. I'm just someone that is looking to expand our minds and help us remember when it comes to this word. That's it. Lots of times it is something that is very strenuous because, I don't want to overstep and I don't want to come off as haughty or I'm trying to act like something or it's all about me. No, me sharing the testimony of what's happening with me would hopefully open up other people to talk about these things that they may be experiencing and to help us see by using things that are actually occurring that we can that I can relate. Again, you don't have to, I'm not here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me and what's happening around me and what I'm sensing in a sense. So excuse me. So it's a way to open up the doors for people that are not religious, that don't go to church, but again, something about the word is inspiring something of a triggering thought in them, and actually showing them some things that are happening right now, prophetic things, and that we are just trying to seek again. And it's never to, like, you guys might hear me speak and you think that, oh, she don't believe in, no, but it never mistake. Now I just tried to record this, but it wasn't recording. I'm trying to make sure I say everything all over again, but never mistake my looking into this word for what it is, that it has been tampered with. People are going to say, oh no, the word cannot, but again, we know that it has. We know books have been removed. We know things like this have happened, so there's no denying that. So again, looking at a realistic approach instead of what religious construct has offered us all this time, which may be maybe not a straight out lie, but misleading. It's manipulated, indoctrinated. So again, what you can look at and say, hey, it says here that the word cannot be tampered with, but these books have been taken out. Well, then that lets you know that even if it can't be, shouldn't be, it was, right? So that's just how we're looking at it, realistically, for what it is, And my only thing is to remember, help others remember, and share stories so that we can, work through these things, because sometimes it can be kind of challenging, and we don't, people that can see the word this way don't necessarily always fit in everywhere that they go. And with especially when it comes to other aspects that are more prominent and popular, okay, they tend to go to those platforms. So again, my only objective, what I do all day, is commune with the or attempt to, when he wants to, you know, uh, give me his time, with the all, with, you may say, Most High, with Adonai, with um, my God. Okay, so again, that's what my end goal every day is. I'm never dismissing the power and that there is authority and power over us, but us as being little gods, or priestly, or prophetic peoples, or people that are here to do a work, we can't not look at ourselves as if we're not standing in our own power that has been bestowed upon us in order to relate this, because again, it's going to be new things occurring in this time. Again, we already know about the sons and daughters prophesying and all of these particular things. Okay, so again, I wanted to get that out of the way. There's no way, and again, when it comes to prayer, for me, just for me, this is something that I commune with the Elohim, probably get on his nerves, you know, throughout the day in privacy. It's just what I do. But I always go back and just hope and pray and just kind of try to clarify things that I have shared with you guys, to make sure that I'm not steering anyone, because it's the last thing that I would want to do. We're seeking truth, and purpose, in a sense. Where do we stand right now? Okay. So it's saying here that this is about Judith humbling herself and prayeth God to prosper her purpose against the enemies of his sanctuary. Okay. And it says, then Judith fell upon her face and put ashes upon her head and uncovered the sackcloth wherein she was clothed. And again, these storylines, I feel close to them only because I feel like I'm a seer or a scryer in a sense, and that also dwelling, in the energy of the Holy Spirit or the Ruach, because then the Ruach was there with the Father in the beginning. So again, I'm saying that being of that intuitive womanly quality, okay, that I think that this is the thing where we get it twisted about women being silent, right, in church. Um, you know, you just have to wonder why, when we have so much to offer. We are the ones that, you know, and then we wonder why the household and things can be dysfunctional these days, and so many things are wrong because when you do that and make it seem like she that has no place or no voice, I don't know, it's devastating and detrimental to the community, the household, the children, the husband, the relationship with the Most High. It's just, I don't know. So I'm just looking at it in that light, struggling with it even in my own situation. So again, so it says, okay, and uncover the sackcloth wherewith she was clothed. And about the time that the incense of the evening was offered in Jerusalem in the house of the Lord, Judith cried with a loud voice and said, O Lord, my Father. So it's very specific here. It says, O Lord God of my father Simeon. So this would declare that there's more than one Lord God. This time we are speaking of the Lord God of my father. Judith would be speaking Simeon. This is who she is addressing at that moment. It's not the God of, it didn't say of Israel. It just didn't. So I like to pay attention to these type of details here. Okay. And again, resonating with it, also noticing that, again, not saying that I am Judith, I am just standing in that light right now, or in that spirit. And it's just so funny, again, every time when these names that are strong throughout my genealogy show up, it feels like those are the storylines that resonate with me more. Because again, we have all of this stuff within us. The text is actually there to kind of verify or to, add to that. So, that, like, not living on bread alone, that's also what you have stored within you that is going to be awakened at this time in order to see. Okay. To whom thou gavest a sword to take vengeance of the strangers. Now, again, we're looking at this sword. I'm thinking, again, the pen is mightier than the sword. But again, there are some priestly beings from certain lineages that have a gift of, and I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a speaking certain things into existence. Again, so if we don't get to know ourselves, then we don't get to know these things, then we don't get to know excuse me, our gifts and our qualities that can be used at this time to battle against principalities and rulers that are already like within you. It's like unlocking that. That's what we want to do on this channel. And it's going to be different than most people do on other platforms. But again, I feel like it could be important and it might be a purpose. So again, they use the pen with their paperwork and stuff like that. But again, what I'm saying is like declaring, claiming, speaking into existence, manifesting things of this nature. Okay. Who loosened the girdle. Okay. Okay, so this is the one, vengeance of the strangers, who loosened the girdle of the maid to defile her. So again, this girdle, and again, I don't want to go into etymology right now, but that would be a good one to go ahead and look up. It's a girdle. to see what we're actually really talking about. Of the maid to defile her, and discover the thigh to her shame, and polluted her virginity to her reproach. For thou sayest, it shall not be so, and yet they did so. So again, what she's saying here is that you said that they would not do that, but they're doing that. And what I'm saying about this, women, sisters, excuse me, that there are things that are going on, in the spiritual realm, and I feel like in this worldly realm with technology and things like that, that may be indicating that certain things are happening, that we may be unaware of if we're not tapping in, and again, to connect with each other. I'm trying to open up that door so that we can communicate with each other and see how we can maybe protect ourselves from certain things that are hidden in darkness that may be going on with the body. Wherefore thou gavest their rulers to be slain. Okay. Well, wherefore thou gavest their rulers to be slain, so that they dyed their bed in blood, being deceived, and smoteth the servants with their lords, and the lords upon their thrones, and has given their wives for a prey. Okay, so again, this is also how, when I think I was looking up meat last night in etymology, and you got prostitute. Okay, so again, think handsmaid tale on a whole nother scale, right? Because that movie came out in the 90s, I think, the first one. They brought it out again. Now they're showing you a certain aspect, but it's not really always exactly how they're showing you. So think virtual, digital. I think there's a show out about a woman or something. I think I'm gonna start watching it just to pick up on it a little bit, or watch an episode or whatever, about this girl that had been turned into a virtual girlfriend or something like this. Okay, so again, I'm gonna look into it a little bit to see what we're talking about here, but think more along the lines of this. Think more along the lines of technologies that can be used, like we talked about in Jupiter Ascending, that may be able to get into people's temples or vessels and have their way. When we're talking about these grapes and stuff like this, on vines and things, are these talking about certain parts or aspects of the one? We could just go deep here, but I'm just saying, I'll leave that up to your imagination. I'm here just to open up the door and crack it, and then you could go ahead with it. Again, because a lot of us are very intuitive, and we are knowing of these things that are occurring. We just can't explain them. Because again, especially when you start to get to know yourself and start healing, you can sense these things. Okay. Has given their wives for prey. Okay, and the more that we open our mouths and speak these things, the more that we can stand in our power and fight against these people. But then again, the more that we do speak about them, these are the people that will be targeted. And again, this is why I say that sisterhood cannot die at this point in time. We cannot be having petty differences with each other about man and his construct and how things are made. Again, yes, we should be all taking care of our business however we see fit, that you want to do that, whatever your business is. But again, we cannot forget about the spiritual realm, and we cannot forget about the body and protecting ourselves and our sisters. I mean, that's all I'm saying. And using everything on this universe in order to do that. Okay, because again, I look at the text and I see that there's really no protection, and all women are looked at as something of a vagabond or some kind of way. So again, in that way, that takes away nature. So again, we women have that power or capacity to access nature and the universe in order to help heal us. And this is just something that I'm just saying. Okay. And their daughters to be captives. Okay. So we already know that big things that we're not talking about, because we're talking about this pretend thing that's going on here. Okay. And I won't say pretend, but it's just being overly exaggerated. Okay, this long drawn out baloney, shamage. This whole thing that's going on, okay, is taking away from other things that we were focused on not too long ago that were going on with the women and children that have just disappeared with the dude that all of the stuff got put on, right? Okay, so we can't forget about that. And all their spoils to be divided amongst thy dear children. Okay, so again, this is also attributes and things like that. I think that if these kings were slain, that these things are supposed to be given to their children, which were moved with thy zeal, okay, and abhorred the pollution of their blood, and called upon thee for aid. O God, my God, hear me also a widow, okay. Okay, so again, a woman that, again, and I'm just going to say this, that I was very touched um, uh, because of things that people try to put in between to uh, cause division amongst us right now in these times when we need to be stronger and we need to be there for each other. And we need to just put all that shit down and we need to be there for each other. And I felt, you know, when I go across your guys' profile sometimes, you know, I stay there. You know, it might seem like I'm just wasting time, because sometimes I am on the phone a lot. But the last couple of days I've been trying to put it down, you know, and not scroll as much. But there's a deep connection with you guys that it will never die. No matter what you think I've said about you, no matter what you think, you know, I see the beauty, the true beauty, no matter what, and the strength. So if you know, you know that I know that you know what I'm saying, and I'm sensing her here. I can see her face right now while I'm reading this. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand what she was saying yesterday, but when her face just came to me right now, now I'm feeling something. For thou hast wrought not only those things, but also the things which fell out before, and which ensued after. Thou hast thought upon the things which are now, which are to come. Yea, what things thou didst determine were ready at hand, and said, Lo, we are here. Okay? For all thy ways are prepared, and thy judgments are in the foreknowledge. Okay? The judgments are in the foreknowledge. For behold, the Assyrians are multiplied in their power, and they exalt with horse and man. They glory in the strength of their footmen. They trust in shield and spear, and bow and sling, and know not that thou art the Lord that breaketh the battle, and the Lord is thy name. Okay? Throw down their strength and power, and bring down their force in thy wrath, for they have purposed to defile thy sanctuary and to pollute the tabernacle where thy glorious name glorious name resteth, and to cast down with the sword the horn of thine altar. Behold their pride, and send thy wrath upon their heads. Give into my hand, which am a widow, the power that I have conceived, to smite by the deceit of my lips the servant with the prince, and the prince with the servant. Break down their stateliness by the hand of a woman. For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor in might, in strong men. For thou art a God of the afflicted, a helper of the oppressed, an upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope. I pray thee, O God of my father, and God of the inheritance of Israel, Lord of the heavens and earth, creator of the waters, King of every creature, hear thou my prayer, and make my speech and deceit to be their wound and stripe, who have proposed cruel things against thy covenant and thy hallowed house, and against the top of Sion, and against the house of the possessions of thy children, and make every nation and tribe to acknowledge that thou art the God of all power and might, and that there is none other to protect the people of Israel but thou. Now, I don't know exactly what I keep on telling you, but it feels as though it is my duty to really, we can reflect on this word right here and the words that you have seen me speak over the past couple of days that I've been taking down, but I will not be doing that. Okay? Anymore. Sometimes there's a heaviness there that makes me retract because I don't, like I told you before, I don't want to just act on something so quickly anymore. I like to sit in thought. Okay? And sometimes something will come up afterward to say, okay, wait a minute, maybe I could have did that. But again, I'm trying not to do that anymore. It is what it is. You know, it's not to give you the foundation. It's to just plant seeds there or throw the seeds to the wind. Okay. And again, those who have eyes will see and ears will hear. Okay. But again, this is me stating that I feel as though these words are speaking to me and saying that I am that Lord. And as long as I run away from or turn my face, or I'm connected, or I am within that or joined with that Lord. You see what I'm saying? Where if I'm in him and he is in me and we are one, then do you see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm talking about the word speaking these things, that sometimes it is that way, rather than taking, not to say that we shouldn't do that, but some of us are able to see, and maybe this is why I'm being brought to speak this to you this way, because it's the spiritual world is trying to tell me something. Here is something. Somebody has something of yours and you want it back. Demand that they give it back. And again, I cannot continue to not acknowledge it and not just speak that, because I don't have anything tangible here, because certain offices are closed down right now. So I can't get certain things taken care of for no reason, because of this thing that's supposedly going on. You see what I'm saying? Or is it really something else? Because I'm telling you that there's certain of these principalities that know exactly who we are, and they're trying to keep us from it. They want us to do it their way. And my God says, with your mouth profess this, I am the Lord of these particular people. Now, whether that is for me to proclaim, I feel it is. If not, the person that it is for is going to come to this platform. They're going to hear it and they will know. But I am feeling as though all of these things that are happening is confirmation for me. To say that I'm close to, if not joined with, this particular Lord or God or King. It's almost like his voice is crying out to me. It's almost like that. And it's almost like someone is trying to keep a hold on these things so that I cannot receive them, and or someone, right? Again, because there are going to be multiple lords, right? So again, this would be pertaining to other women as well. Okay? So again, this is about standing in our power, not being haughty, but this is about our purpose. You know, it's serious to me. Okay. And just because those that are acting as enemies or putting a crafty counsel in front of you, whether they're doing it to you mentally or throughout distractions or any other things, okay? It's being done. And we need to work with each other so we can learn these things and see how we get about these and how we help each other up, how we reach the hand back regardless, so that we can all be standing in our power together. So I think we're going to go ahead and stop there. I'm going to go ahead and do 10, and then we're going to go back into the book of wisdom, because it's just one of them days where I'm just going to be going in. So again, there's no not convincing me that I don't have, and some of us don't have a greater purpose, and that these words are not trying to tell us something right now. Things that we must profess. And it's not going to look the way that a majority of the people in the church and everything is going to see it. So that may turn the evil eye towards you. But it is what it is. How am I going to deny what this word is saying? Why I'm at this moment of time? How did I even get here out of all of the... Do you see what I'm saying? Something is happening here. And it's of a divine nature. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Oh, and I'm going to need that back. I'm just saying. So this is how we work together to build each other up. Because I won't give up.